Okay, now we're really on the home stretch. All that's left is putting on the top armor and setting up the radio. So what we'll do is actually just we'll put 2 screws in the top armor so that we can start to drive it around and flip it over. This is a step where having an electric is quite nice. Again, if you're gonna use an electric, we have this one available at turnabout.com, and the trick is to be able to go really slowly so that you don't melt the plastic. I'm going to run this one in, looking for about 1 revolution a second. Again, even with bottoming out, I know I've said it many times, but it's really important. Even with it bottoming out, without bottoming out, if you run the screws too fast, it will just melt the plastic. I've mentioned it in some of our other instructional videos. I used to work in a plastic injection molding plant, and the majority of the heat energy that goes into the plastic to melt it is actually the turning of the screw. They have barrel heaters. That's mostly to melt the plastic so the screw can get started. So there we have it. We've got our top armor on with 2 bolts, and then we can go ahead and this time we'll turn on the radio. So it came all the way on because the switches are up and the throttle is down. Now, because I have not set up the endpoints for the flipper, I'm going to raise this a little bit so it doesn't slam closed when I go ahead and turn the bottom on. Oh, and that was still not enough. Let me get this one out of the way for the moment. So first thing to do is see if anything needs to be reversed. So what I'm looking for is when I go up on the stick, the claws close. When I go down on the stick, the claws open, and they do. So that's good. The next thing to check to see if anything needs to be reversed is to push forward on the stick. Ideally, the bot goes forward. Okay, so that does happen sometimes. I'll push left on the stick and see if it goes left, and it does. Great. So nothing needs to be reversed. If it did, then when the backlight's off, I can push any of the 4 buttons, so up, down, OK, or cancel to wake it up. And I hold OK to get into the menu, down button to go to function setup, OK to go in, and then reverse is the first on the list. Hit OK. Steering is always channel 1, so if that had been reversed, then when I pushed left, it would have gone right, and I'd need to reverse that at that point, but that's correct. So by the same token, channel 2 is drive, so forward and backward. If it had needed to be reversed, when I pushed forward, it would have gone backward, and I would need to reverse it, but it was all correct. So if I had made any changes here, I'd have to hold cancel to save. I didn't make any changes, so I can just press cancel to get back out. Now, I do need to adjust the endpoints of the arm. So we generally set weapon to be on channel 3. So I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to hit OK to go down to channel 3. And as I start to go down, I get to where it's straining a bit too hard. So I'm going to take a few percentage points out of that one. And then as I go up, I'm looking for, is there a section where it's not really moving, where I'm making it strain too hard? So again, I move the stick. It does manage to keep moving. So it's not bottoming out, but it's also not, doesn't need to go back that far. Really, as long as the link gets down into the chassis a little bit, it'll self-right plenty easily. So I can check that. I can make sure that it self-rights well. So I will just, and it does self-right with plenty of authority. You know, even if I stack it on its claws, it self-rights well. So you can hear that that battery is not charged. So with any bot that you make, you always want to make sure that there is no position you can get it in that it won't self-right well. So we'll try to put it in all the positions and make sure that a quick up, down a couple times with the left stick, those always get it right back onto its wheels. Now you'll notice the Squeezies, just as well balanced as they are, they tend to be a little bit twitchy. So we've got our claws set where we want them. And so we'll push a button to wake it up and then hold cancel to save. To take some of the twitch out, we'll actually go down to dual rates, and channel 1 is steering. So we'll turn this down, I like about 94 typically. So what that'll do is that makes it easier to turn a little bit less. So it's cut down my maximum rotational speed, but that's still plenty fast, I think. Now, you'll also probably notice with many bots that you can move the stick a fair amount before it actually starts moving. So in order to do that, I can get more response at less stick by putting some expo in it. So I find with Squeezies, generally somewhere between 20 and 24 works pretty well, where I can get a little bit of motion for less stick motion. So that generally still lets me control it well, even with some arcing, not just point and shoot. But I usually end up near 94 and 24, and that'll give me a setting that I really like. And again, I'll wake it up and then hold cancel to save. So there we have it. You can see this radio's already been set up for the battery levels. So this battery is at only 7.7 volts, so it's near the bottom of what we really want to get it to. And that's why you can hear, if I leave that servo straining for much time, it goes ahead and sets off the alarm to let me know it is time to charge. There we go. That is a combat-ready Squeezy that just needs to be charged up. I'll go ahead and show you how to put a name in. So again, any button to wake it up, hold OK. And then this time we're actually going to go into system setup. So I'll do that again. So hold OK, system setup, OK, model name, OK. And then I may want to just call this Squeezy Red. So I'll just actually go Squeezy. To go all the way around to get the 0 to a D. Red. And then hold cancel to save. So there we go. Squeezy Red. Battery set up right. Moves good. It self-rights like a champ. From any angle. Good to go. We'll turn everything off. So turn the bot off. And turn the radio off. Have fun battling.